Hi, this is Pam, Flower Patch Farmhouse, and today I'm going to talk to you about planting my dahlias in containers and how they did. I'm going to show you how I planted them in the containers, and then I'm going to show you what they look like now in full bloom. In fact, these are some of the dahlias, that were grown in containers. I have one called Islander, and then there's Belle of Barmera, and this one is Spider Woman. And then out back I have more. I have Cafe au Lait, Labyrinth, which is gorgeous, and so a couple of white ones that I don't know the names of, but they've all done just wonderful in their containers. So let's get started and I'll show you how I did it. Hi guys, how's it going? This is Pam, Flower Patch Farmhouse. Today we're going to plant dahlias in containers. I have to use containers this year for my dahlias because last year the gophers just devastated all of the ones I had, and I couldn't save them over for this year. So I have my dahlias that I had potted up early in the greenhouse. I took cuttings, I pinched them back, and now they really need to get in the ground because this is late June and things are really warming up. We had kind of some cool spells here for June, and I didn't really worry about getting them out, but now it's time. So I'm going to show you the ones I've already done, and I'm going to show you how I plant up. It's pretty simple. The next one I've got on my list to do, but in the meantime I'm being so distracted by this gorgeous, look at this, this is pretty in pink Eden rose. It's a sport of my Eden, the one that's on the arbor, and I absolutely love this. So this also almost got eaten to death by the gophers last year, and it is now in a pot. So I've got a lot of roses in pots I had to save too. So if anybody has any hints on how to get rid of gophers, I've tried the castor oil, I've tried the Repelzol, I've tried, you name it, I've tried it. And the only thing right now that's protecting things from the gophers is raised beds with a lining underneath of mesh hardware cloth and containers. So I think that's the route I'm going to have to go for many things now. All right, let's get to planting our dahlias. So here is a container. I've already drilled holes in it. I'm going to hold on to this. This I got from Walmart, this galvanized tub container. I think it was $9. I can't remember for sure, but it's a great rectangle shape and it's a nice depth, so it'll work good for this. And I have, like I said, drilled several holes in it with a drill. And that's for good drainage. You want good drainage with your dahlias. So a nice inexpensive one, and dahlias need about 12 inches each, so I think I can get 3 in here safely. And so you see over there, let me pan up there for you. You'll see I already have some dahlias planted in galvanized tubs. So here is one here, it's kind of behind this iris. And then there's one right over there. And they each have 3 dahlias in them. And they just got potted up the other day, so they're just getting established. And over here in this box, I have another one. That is where I had planted them to take cuttings off of them. So I need to get that planted in here, and I have a couple more I'll go get that are in 1-gallon pots out in by the greenhouse. So I'll get everything together right here, and we will get these things planted. So here's my container ready to go, and I went and got a bucket load of my turkey compost that I get in bulk, and I'm putting it in there. Now what I'm going to go do is I'm going to get some sand to mix with it because dahlias really like good drainage. I could go straight with the compost, it wouldn't be a huge deal, but I do want these to really thrive and do well. So I'm going to go get some sand, come back, and I'm going to mix it in here and then top this up. Well, you missed it because somehow I goofed it up, and all I did was I poured in maybe a gallon container full of builder sand, and I just mix it into the compost. And also I wanted to say is you do not need to add extra fertilizer because this turkey compost is very high in nutrients already. So adding more is not going to benefit the plants. So here we're going to go. So here we go. We're going to get these planted. And these are Pin Hill watermelon. watermelon. This is a dinner plate dahlia. I'll set that over there for now. And these I did pot up, and you see I did cut them back, pinch them. And now, look at that, nice root system, not root bound. And I'm gonna need to dig down a little bit and get it down in there. And then just fill in around it. I have some more soil over in my bucket. This took about 2 5-gallon buckets of compost. I don't know how much that would be in bags, so you will have to figure that out for yourself. So this one I'm going to kind of stagger them, like zigzag from each other, and get them planted that way. And just stick them in here. All well and good. I want to keep the stickers so I know what they are. I like having all of one variety together. That way I get a mass of bloom. And this one is in this box, so I'm going to have to dig it up a bit and bring it over here. And there we go. So I'll get some more of the compost and top it up with that, and then we'll give it a good water. Now, I added the sand for good drainage because though they like lots of moisture, they don't like being soggy or sitting in damp soil. So here I'm going to use the leftover of what was in this box. And notice how I'm so careful. And that's all well and good. These are little grow bag things, and I didn't find that they worked well for me. So I use them to line the bottom. Oops, did I break a leaf? Line that box so the soil didn't go through. Okay. I'm going to gently firm, and then I will water. And that is potting up dahlias in a container. No sweat, right? So I haven't decided what kind of supports I want for these because they will need supporting. They get 4 to 5 feet tall and quite top heavy with big blooms because these are the dinner plate dahlias. So I don't know if I will do an obelisk or just certain stakes, or if I find something online that I like even better, something decorative. But for the most part, we are done with potting up our dahlias in containers to grow on. So I'm finishing up this Dahlias in Containers video. I wanted to take it through the summer and see how well they did. This is my cafe au lait. Isn't that just gorgeous? And it's about 4 feet tall. Here's the container it's in. It's just a small pot. I think that's 1 tuber. And here's another flower down here. Now it's getting late. Well, it's mid-October. I think today's the 15th. It's just loaded with buds and still blooming. We haven't had a frost yet, a hard frost at all. In fact, we haven't even gotten close to it, which is unusual for us this time of year. So I'm going to take you to the next one and show you how it's doing. This one is a white one, and it is in a metal tub I got at Walmart. It's a rectangular tub. I guess it's considered a drink tub. And I'm gonna walk around so you can see the front of these little guys. Let me get down here. Isn't that gorgeous? They're huge, just huge, huge. See my hand? They're massive. And the bees are still loving them. And it has plenty of buds coming on. We had a hot spell in September, and they kind of just relaxed. And then, as soon as it cooled, became more mild, they just took off again. So let me turn around. I'm going to show you my labyrinth. Oh, there's my solar fountain still going good. It's not very strong sun today. We have smoke in the air again from the wildfires that are not fully out yet in California. Here's labyrinth. Right next to it is the white one. All of these were supposed to be labyrinth, but some of them turned out white instead, but they were a gorgeous white and different than the other one. But look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous? Love the colors on that. So striking. More buds coming up, And it looks like through this next week also it's going to be warm. And this is in a container I had on hand. It has a nice design on it, but there is two tubers in that one. And they stayed smaller. I got these in late in the season, and that's why I believe they stayed shorter in stature. So I'm gonna go over here. Now this one is my Melissa, it's called, and it is a smaller size. It's not a dinner plate dahlia, but it's in a galvanized tub. I think there's 2 tubers in there, and this one blooms a lot longer. It's I think it started in July, so it just has performed all summer long. It looks like I need to deadhead it. A lot of them got a little bit of spider mites, but I took a soapy water mix and just sprayed them off good. Now I don't know what this one is. This one is one that I actually saved from last year, and I haven't got a clue. Here's some down here. It's pink with a little yellow center, so it needs to be deadheaded. But it sure got some glossy, beautiful foliage there. Doing good. So that's the ones back here. I'm going to take you around the front garden where I have more. So these are all the dahlias in containers up front. You see the big, large containers. And this is my Spider Woman dahlia, which has really been super gorgeous. This one over here is Islander. Let me get around there so you can really see it. Super gorgeous. This one's not as big as the former blooms have been, but that's quite all right. It's still gorgeous. More up here. These ones are quite a bit taller. I would say they're almost 6 feet. Rats got caught up in a rose. I'm walking around the other side because I couldn't get through that rose. This one is Belle of Barmera, and it's super pretty with pink and apricot coloring. And I found out why some people's Belle of Barmera have more of the coloring of the Islander back there, and that's because there's 2 different ones. So also though, this Belle of Barmera, as it ages, I picked some last week, and as it aged, it took on more pink tones. Now here's my Penn Hill watermelon. It has not bloomed at all yet. I'm certainly hoping that I get some blooms before frost. The buds are there, so hopefully they'll open up. Oh, wait a minute, here's one over here. It's almost open. It's opening. Anyways, next year I'm gonna have a different spot for them, and I'm gonna show you where it's at right now. So this is the side garden up against my porch. And right down here where you see all the bare ground, I've been digging out the irises to divide and other plants that were in here. And I'm gonna put in a raised bed that has protection on the bottom, hardware cloth, so the voles can't eat my dahlia tubers when I plant them next spring, and they can grow in the soil. So that's the plan here. I will plant some of the irises in front of the raised bed area, and then I'll be able to support the tall dahlias along my porch. And I can enjoy the blooms from walking on the porch or walking down along here. Plus this area gets a lot of nice sun, tiny bit afternoon shade. So I think the dahlias will do really, really well right here. So that is the plan. Hopefully I can follow through. It's all a little bit mess right now because I'm digging and replanting, etc. And I hope you enjoyed this video on planting dahlias in containers. So that means even if you only have a patio garden, you can grow dahlias if you get full sun. So I hope you'll join me in our next video where we'll have more garden fun.